All right, so I got the extruder. Let's see. So it comes in parts, basically. So this is a left-handed extruder, and so you can only use it with certain things. So the I guess the original intention of these. So that one's a right-handed over here. So the difference is going to be. Boy, this thing is driving me nuts today. The tripod. Sorry. I went with a single gear because I did some research, and my conclusion was that you're more likely to need to calibrate E-steps and things like that if you go with something else. So, you see, so see right here where it's on the opposite side? This theoretically should be about the same. So the reason that I bought one like this is so that I could put on the pyramid printer because of where the direct drive drops. This one might even have the same problem also. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. If you look at that, that is totally in the wrong spot. So, this one here, you end up having to have the motor on the front when you switch it. Now, you probably could. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, you have to do it this way because I think otherwise you won't be able to clear the rail on that one. But anyway, that's not what this one's for, but I just kind of wanted to illustrate that. So, it's not this particular one. This one's fine. The other one, the extruder slips. So this is a copy of a Titan extruder. And so on my other one, I'm going to bolt this in place. It's going to go right here. And as long as the crap lines up perfectly. Oh, this looks used. It's all banged up and dinged up. I bet you it is. Somebody probably ordered it. Because it's a left-handed extruder. Somebody probably ordered it on accident. Just something like this shouldn't have. This is used. God. It's like, they always send me crap that's been used. Like, hey, thanks. Thanks for sending me some used crap. You don't even give me a discounted price. Oh, we just cleaned it off really good so you can hardly tell. But, you know, like, when you see that it's been banged up where you'd install it, usually you can tell where it's screwed in. I am not going to sit here and worry about it too much, but if it ain't used, it's pretty piss poor quality. The red's coming off of it. Multiple places. Somebody dropped it. Yeah. Anyway. So, what you do with this one is you have to kind of partially assemble some of it. So, hopefully everything's here, since it does kind of look used. It might just be really poor quality. I don't know. So as far as I know, the it's going to be upside down compared to it. I don't know. I can't remember. But we're going to have this here. This part's going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be right here. So, lovely. Back here. This longer screw should be this one. And it should fit. So, here's another indication that something ain't right about this. See that mark on there? It's all completely worn off. So, yeah. I wouldn't think that that would be totally normal. Now, the rest of this, let's see. So, if you look at this really careful, one end of the bearing is actually thicker than the other. Not by much, but enough I can see. I don't know if they want you to use this washer. But this is going to go on here. I don't know if the lock washer is supposed to go on there. And then the other problem is, so now you're sticking out the bottom. So I would imagine you have to use it. And if you don't, it's going to rub up against the bottom of that plate. So this may take a little fiddling to even really get this to work correctly, because you can't have this sticking out of the bottom at all, not even a little bit. Let me go find my Allen key set. Let's see here. So once we tighten that down, everything looks good. Okay, so that's good. That'll work. That's fine. Okay. So then the rest of this crap is basically stuff that needs to be assembled after the fact. I have got butterfingers this morning. These are slippery. Okay. So we got that part ready to go right here. And then if you need to use this, which you probably will because it'll go in between here. So this will go on there. The rest of these they've given you to attach to the rest of your stuff. Looks like there's some extra ones in here possibly. Or just like, okay, we'll give you this style in case you need this style. This one here. I'm trying to see what they have going on here. Okay, we got we need two screws that are where the hell is the spring? Well, that's interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay. So one of these goes over here, and there's supposed to be another part on it. But it's not there. I don't know. So basically, this is how this one's going to go. You need one of these in that particular spot because this thing's going to pivot. They gave me two of them, and all the rest of them are different. And you have to have one here that holds the spring. And then there's going to be another one that goes right through here. This technically should be adjustable, but they didn't give you a long enough one. And they didn't give you the part to adjust it. So I'll show you why that would be on a different one, but very similar. So as you can see here, there's an adjustment right here on that one. And ours didn't come with that screw. So when you look here, you'll see the other one. That one's there. So this one, and then basically tighten everything really tight except for that one. And this is the same type of design, it's just reversed. And it's missing the adjuster on the spring tension. So I'm gonna guess they just forgot to put that in there, or I don't know. I have to look at the listing if they show that part. It might not be included. But I think it's missing. So what I'll probably do is I will ask for a replacement on this because I'm pretty sure it's missing. And we'll just see if the next one has it. So besides, I think this one might be like partially assembled. And it's not a problem. Like there's nothing damaged. I don't see anything damaged, but it looks like maybe one of the screws is wrong. Or possibly got the wrong parts. We don't have that piece there. So when this thing is sitting in here, you're gonna have a hard time getting a screw into there. They should have did that on both corners. So the only realistic way to arrange this is you got to put that one there, and even though that one's not recessed, you just have to use one of them over there, and then you could use your other one over here. And your spring will sit in between these two things. So yeah, I got to get the other printer and just pull all this off of here, and so I'll do that in a second. So let me come back because this one's fine. I just have this one out in the shop. Alright, so I'm back. I've got the other one down here. I'm going to have to move some stuff. So I can do this a couple different ways. But I've got to heat up the deal and pull the filament out of the other one. So I'm going to need to move some stuff. Which requires me to either pull this one. I don't want to move it. The reason I don't like moving these too much is because once I have the bed and everything working the way that I want it, I don't like to have to screw around with it again because you move it and it changes. So I'm gonna move the radio. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna put this other printer right next to this other one, probably, and move that and that and that. I'll have two of these right next to each other, which would be kind of cool looking. And I am going to have to order some more black filament. Not that I'm out, but the fact that like I have 3 printers, 4 printers, I prefer to just have the same filament on all of them. Okay. We almost got this. Something's underneath this printer, which is driving me nuts. Oh, come on. It's a USB power supply for something else. Okay. I think I'm almost good here. Look at that. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is, let me see if I can find my cord. I thought there was another one. I need to plug this thing in so that I can extrude the filament out of it and get that done. I don't remember which one is two. There's another cord that hasn't been used. Supposed to be a cord back here, but there's not. We'll just use this one. Okay. A lot of these cords. I guess these cords, they originally named IBM cords. International Business Machines is the one that maybe invented these. I don't know. Although I'm not so sure about that because I've seen really old equipment, possibly from the 70s, late 70s, that has that on there before IBM was a thing. This one makes noise. I figured it out. It's the fan. So I go heat it up. Set it to just 240. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for this one to do its thing. And I'll come back and pull the filament out of it. This one's actually usually pretty fast. I noticed that these are a little bit faster than a lot of the other printers. So these printers I think would be pretty cool if you could upgrade everything on them and then like run Clipper or something on them. I don't know how fast these really are. Like I usually notice in the Cura software, it wants to print. It wants to print 50, but I'm using the CR10 profile, which is probably wrong for this because these are technically pretty much a direct drive, and the different CR10s, some of them were, some of them weren't. So I would guess the E steps are going to be all wrong. So I'm going to have to look into using something different to print with these. But right now, that one right there is printing really good. This one is still got an issue somewhere in the middle of the PEI bed. We're at 220. This should just come right out. So fold it out. And then now, let me get the rest of this deal undone. Show you what it takes, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's not real complicated. So they use different size screws. I wonder if I'm going to run into problems. I want to find the other tools because I don't want to use the Allen wrenches on the rotating thing. So even though I have Allen wrenches on a thing like this, it's just kind of pain. Get some light over here. So I'd rather not use those if I don't have to. I think it's going to be this one here. Yep. Okay. I got to work around the camera. Camera's in my way. I'll put that on the glass bed. I don't want it on the other one. So there's technically, I think, only 3 screws on these. And we're going to have to do a couple of things to get this one off of here. Because you got to remove the gear, I believe. So this is just a copy of a Titan, and I don't know if the actual real ones are better. I mean, it works. It doesn't seem to be too bad. And I guess the CR10 V3 used something slightly similar. I think that the Neo, the Ender 3 Neo used. Okay, that's the longest one right there. Let's see what this one is. So those two are the longest ones. Okay, so now we'll move that. And I'm going to put that on the other table. And I'm going to put the bolts in it. Okay, so and this is the problem with this one too. See that? It does not want to adjust. It's actually stuck. I don't know why. So that might be why that one wasn't working well. So I actually just learned something I didn't know. Okay, so there's nothing cracked or anything. That's what I'm looking for. And then you have this part here. I think there's more that has to be done. I think you have to pull even more. Because you can't pull this out because that's going into the hot end. The stepper motor, let's see, is still on there. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Okay. This is why I like to either use T handles or these, and definitely not the ones all in a kit. Okay, and the rest of this is hidden behind here, which I'm not sure this wire is in a good place, but whatever. So there's a few upgrades you can do on this. So now we're going to have to pull the hot end. To make sure you guys can still see. So we're going to have to pull the hot end. I've actually got another hot end for this that I thought it was bad. These Allen heads are, one of them is not like, must be stripped out or something. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. I'm just trying to hurry up and get this done. So this thing is still fairly warm. But in order to get this extruder off, we have to remove the hot end. And I'm hoping I've got enough room to pull it out. And I think we just do that. There we go. Okay. So normally this piece sits in here up against that. And then this releases from there. It's got that little springy deal. So this is a cool design. The way that it works if it's set right. So now that we can pull that out, now we can pull that and that. So it looks like it, you know, normally should just come right the hell off, but not the case with this. Okay. I'm trying to keep all these parts straight here. Okay, we gotta catch the motor on the back too. So okay, I'm gonna set that right there. I want to put this back in there. Come on. Okay. I'm looking at the teeth on here. They look a little worn. Okay. I'll put this part. I don't remember how this one went in here. Okay. I'm gonna try and get like most of this back together so that like I don't lose any of this stuff. And then we gotta figure out why that thing got stuck. toolbox and find something that fits this. All my stuff is missing, so I can't find anything. It looks like 9/32 almost. Okay. So we got it loose. And so we should be able to put the arm part back in here. Where did it go? Interesting. Okay, well, now I'm not finding the arm part. Is it hiding over here? Alright. Well. Alright, so I got all that sorted. So these motors have a name on them. It's Kunovo, and I've seen this printer sold under that name. So anyway, we're gonna find. Let's see if I got the correct ones here. I might not. They all look a little too big. Okay, so it's probably the 1.5 millimeter. Yep. Alright, so we've got that gear off of there. And then now that that's off of there, we're gonna put this back on here and make some changes. So I'm contemplating like buying a whole entire bracket at some point to do the BL Touch and all the other stuff. This is a filament runout sensor, so that's cool that that's there. I do not remember the direction that this one was actually facing when I removed it. And it had this little sticker on it, number 8, Extruder Part 1 says. Okay. So we got that there, and then so what we'll have to do now is just basically take this and make sure that these screws are long enough to attach. If they're not, then we'll have to take the ones from the other one. I think they should be good, but I'm not sure. And we're going to just go ahead and move this over here. Okay, so hopefully this will reach through far enough to thread. Yeah. Okay. Now hopefully I don't have to take this off to accommodate for the deal here, as I might not be able to get to it. And I just put the wrong one in there. Damn it. Okay. Let me see what I have over here. Okay. This one goes in a different spot. Actually, one of these doesn't even go there. I didn't even think about that. One of these is the pivot arm. which is going to be that one. Okay. Keep going in. Okay, come on. I'm just trying to see if it's actually going in. Okay. It's a different size Allen key. Come on. It's not that one. What the hell? These are all the same. Oh my god. It's this one down here. Okay, so that one's fine. So now we need to get our gear on here. And I believe just put it up like that. One of them's got to be on the flat side. And I'm not sure how far down it needs to be. I want to put the visualizer on there. So I need it to be down as far as possible. Let me go look at the other one really quick. Okay. So basically, if I look at the other one, as long as my filament is going to make contact with the teeth, and so I can't go down any further than this, and I probably actually want to move it up. Let's see if I can bring a camera in and show you why. Okay, so you need to be even with the top of that bearing. So we'll have to go ahead and change it. But that's okay. Okay. So it needs to come out probably flush to that. Maybe more like right about there. So you won't be able to put the whirligig on there. I mean, you could maybe go in, call it the faucet. Now, if you flip it upside down, that's the other thing too. If you flip it upside down, then you might be able to be in a little bit further because you're not going to have none of that over there. So actually right there is too far in already. So I'm going to say this one is actually supposed to be more like this. So if we put it like that, we can come in all the way and hang it out. And we can still reach over here and tighten our stuff. Because we don't need this other end hanging out here. So, yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So once you do that, then it'll ride on there perfectly. So, I was putting it in the wrong direction. I mean, you could, if you don't care. If you don't care, you could put it the other way. It would still work, but you just have to have it out further to avoid that lip. So, okay, so now we just got to get our spring in here, which is missing this other piece that would normally sit inside the spring to keep it from walking around. Oh well, right? What are you going to do? And so you gotta be careful, because if you do this wrong, you're gonna be shooting the spring out. But yeah, there's no adjustment for this at all. You might be able to actually install this and shove the spring in after the fact, maybe. You know, if you went like that and didn't have that screw there. What I'm going to try and do is move this over here and I'm going to try and get my Allen wrench ready. I'm probably going to have to actually start this thing. Well, that's going to be difficult. So it may actually be easier to put the roller in last. I don't know. We could try that too. Let's go ahead and do that. I've never done one of these before, so if you're watching this, you probably haven't either. And I just accidentally locked it in because it got stuck behind the bolt. So you can actually tighten this because it doesn't stop it. So that's cool. That little sleeve piece allows it to pivot. So now we can get our spring in there, hopefully, and so we just have to undo the bottom screw. And once the spring clears that, we can run it back in. So all that does is hold it in there, and because it's not like designed the same as the other one, it will allow the spring to walk around probably quite a bit. So now we have to get we'll have to do this like that. Okay. Pretty good tension. Okay. So now we have that part on there. And all we have left to do is just to go ahead and put the hot end back in there. Which means that we'll have to use this new piece, and hopefully it fits. If it doesn't, then we got problems. So this is a left-handed Creality-based, I don't know what they call it, you know. And then this is like a Creality hot end. These things are a pain. There's a heat break in here. And if that's not perfectly through here, if you take your tip and run it all the way into the block, then there's a gap in between there, you'll have problems. Also, this PTFE tube gets damaged down here. I know there's a modification. You get like Capricorn tube and you take this piece off here and you cut like a piece and then you put like a washer on it and presses down on it. Otherwise, every once in a while, you're going to have to remove this and cut the damaged end off of it, unless you're only printing PLA. So let's just make sure this fits. Okay. So that's fine. So we'll just put that in here. Now, I didn't do this first because I didn't check it with the tubing. Now, I need to get my can I put a socket on that? I think I can. Okay, so you need a wrench to do that because you won't clear it with a socket. And that's probably going to be about a 10 or 11 millimeter. Here I got an 8, and I got a 10. And it's 8. Not too tight, just snug. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should be able to come in here. I'm looking at this other one to see the direction that this crap goes. And it goes behind it. And you get a run out sensor on there. So we do need to raise the Z. So go into the printer. Hit move. Change it from 1 millimeter to 10. I'm going to go up a little while. 70 millimeter. Okay. Shut this off so I don't have the fan blowing on me. Okay. I'm trying to see, these seem to be a little tangled. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know if I can use this one. I think it might be too long now. That don't make sense. I wonder if I accidentally pulled this thing out. Wonder, I must have. Okay. I just don't see how this tube could be that long. Let's see. This doesn't even bolt onto the same crap. Or does it? Yeah. Well, this is really strange. Like, why all of a sudden is this too long? Like, it must have pulled out, because there's no way that could sit up into there. Because here's the shaft. And I don't think the other one operated like that. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. I gotta check some things. So I guess it would go quite far depending on how far it goes up into that tube. And then it would be away from the center of that. So, I guess. Oh man, I hate this crap. Like, everything just keeps falling out of here. So we have this piece here. What's gonna piss me off is if I cut this damn thing and then find out this whole thing doesn't work for crap. Like, I'm gonna be in a world of crap again. Now, I don't think I have any extra tubing. So this actually looks pretty good. Where are you? Right here. Okay. God, I can't see. This is annoying. My camera is not working correctly. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. So this is the tubing that came out of here. You can see there's a little bit of heat damage on the end. Not much. Oh, we apparently cannot run the full length anymore. So this is when it would be nice to have some extra stuff laying around. But I want to measure it and see. Also, I don't think this is going to work at all. You see where we're at? We're going to hit that. There's no way. Okay, so this will not work with this printer. It's close. So you would need, in order to use this style, you would need another bracket. So we just learned something today. So I guess if you guys have one of these, don't buy it. It'll install, but you won't be able to use it. Give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is always going to be the wrong one for this. So if you wanted to run one of these, you would need to make a custom bracket. You gotta, the motor's in the wrong place. So another thing too is there's no reason to even go through all that. When you can just go ahead and order like the whole carriage and everything for pretty cheap. So yeah, you just change this whole thing and go with something different. Basically, that ain't gonna work. And that's an obscure left-handed extruder, so, you know, it's no reason to run it. Now, if you had the other style, it'd be coming out over here. And I know they make a bracket that goes to over here and puts that over there. They also make a bracket where the motor sits over here instead of back there. So what I'm going to do with this one is I actually found part of the problem when I took the other one apart. I'm going to put it back together, but if I decide to upgrade this, all that dirt. I'm gonna go and get a whole new carriage assembly. I'm not gonna 3D print anything. I don't want anything that can flex. I'll I'll convert to a Creality one, and the motor will be facing that direction, and then everything else will be similar. So let me get this thing put back together. All right, so I got it all put back together, and I'm gonna just make sure it works, and I'll do like a test print. Printing, but not amazing.